Today I wanted to share with you a new tool that's available through Logos Now. It is part of Logos 6, but it is part of a tool called Logos Now, a subscription actually, that allows you to get new features of the software before they're released in the next major version. Today, one of the tools that I want to look at is found under the Tools menu. It's called Concordance. Concordance is really going to do a lot to help us, especially in the area of identifying keywords in a book. But basically what it does is it generates a concordance for any book that you want. I'm going to today just be dealing with the Bible, but you can use this tool for any book in your library. You'll notice when I first launch it that, and yours will take a while to generate the first time. Don't be alarmed by that. It will take a number of minutes. I've been using mine, and so it's already generated that report. But you'll notice I'm looking at the New American Standard 95 update as my base Bible. And the concordance right now is set to Word and all passages. What that means is it's going to show me basically every word that occurs in the New American Standard. Now you'll notice that the very first one is the word LIT. Well, what is that? That's an English word in our Bible. When we click on the little expansion arrow next to the word, you'll notice that it's actually in the footnotes, and it's actually picking up all the text in my New American Standard, and it's in the footnotes that mean literally this means such and such. So it's even looking at the footnotes. I can change this by simply changing it to the surface text or the Bible text. If I change it to the Bible text, it's going to show me each word. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that I'm also sorting this by count. And so it's giving me this list in the order of most used words. For example, the word Lord is used 7,685 times in the New American Standard Translation. Now, right now, it doesn't care whether that's Hebrew or Greek. It's just looking at the English word. And if I click on the expansion arrow, it's going to show me every occurrence of the word Lord going all the way through the Bible. Obviously, I'm not going to spend the time to scroll through all of those. But it's going to show me all 7,685 times that the word Lord is used in our English Bibles. Now, searching for English words is fine, but what I want to do today is I really want to deal with some of the original language types of searches that we can do with Logos 6 and the Concordance tool. Instead of looking at words, when we click on that, you'll notice that we can search for lemmas. We can actually search for Greek and Hebrew lemmas. Now, again, you'll notice that this is organized by individual word, and I can look at the Hebrew only by just clicking on that. It'll regenerate and show me all the Hebrew lemmas excuse me, in our Old Testament text. You'll notice right here the word Yahweh occurs 6,828 times in the Old Testament in the Hebrew text. I can switch this from Hebrew to Greek and essentially look at the New Testament, and you'll see here as you scroll through the words that are most frequently used. Now, again, this helps us, but it's not particularly useful. I mean, I don't need to know that the word Kai and occurs 8,985 times in my Greek text. That's good information, but it really doesn't help us that much. You also have the choice of looking at not just lemmas, but roots. And what roots do is it organizes all of the lemmas according to root. Now, you'll notice here that we have this choice to group results by lemma, and I want to make sure that that's turned on. And I also am just going to look at the Greek for just a moment, just to show you that as you go through here, for example, look for a word, erkomai. Erkomai here, come to arrive, occurs 1,398 times in the New Testament. If I expand this, though, you'll see all of the words that share the same root with erkomai and how many times they occur. For example, erkomai itself, come or arrive, 633 times. And if I want to see where those occurrences are, I expand that, and it's going to show me each occurrence of that word. So we're starting to get some more power here. We're starting to get to the point where we're seeing some value in these searches. The problem is there's a lot of words like the preposition in, en in Greek. I don't really care how many times prepositions occur. I don't really care how many times particles or articles occur, or conjunctions or interjections, those kinds of words. What I really care about are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Well, you'll notice that I can sort this list by nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Just click on all the nouns. Interesting that God is the most frequently used noun in the New Testament, 1,313 times. Jesus is second. Not surprising. The New Testament is about God and Jesus, and so to have those nouns used the most is not surprising. I can also look at verbs and adjectives and adverbs. And you'll see at the top, it's got this little filter string that's showing you what it's searching by. And so now I've filtered the entire New Testament down just into those four parts of speech, if you will. But what about looking at a particular book? I want to see, for example, in the book of 1 Peter, what the most frequently occurring words are. Well, instead of all passages, I can click and use 1 Peter. And now you'll notice that my parts of speech reset. But you'll notice, again, the word the occurs 198 times and 71 times. Again, that's interesting information, but the word the is not going to be a key word in the book. The word and is not going to be a key word in the book. They don't have any real theological significance. The words that have the most theological significance are going to be nouns, verbs, adjectives. Sometimes adverbs, but most of the time nouns and verbs, every now and then some adjectives. So let's just look at the nouns and the verbs. Right here, you'll notice God is mentioned 39 times in the book of 1 Peter, Christ 23 times. Pasco, the verb, suffer, occurs 16 times. To do or to make happen occurs 15 times. To think, to be glad or rejoice. We also get the word grace from Cairo. So now we're starting to see theologically significant words that occur multiple times in the text. And so we can go through this list and start to identify the theologically significant, frequently occurring words in a particular book and get a sense of what's going on in the book. For example, we'll look at Pasco. Click on the expansion ring, and you'll notice that there's two words. There's the word Pasco, the verb itself, and then the word pathema, which also means suffering. It's used 4 times. And if I click the expansion arrow on that, you'll see that it's used in 1:11 and 4:13, 5:1, and it'll show you what those words are and where they occur. So if I wanted to mark my Bible with key words in the book of 1 Peter, I can expand both of these, and I can take the time now to mark 1 Peter and mark all the occurrences of the word suffering throughout that text. So now I've got a tool without doing crazy searches like we used to have to do before. We used to have to do this with morphological searches, which was much more complicated. Now we can simply use the Concordance tool as part of Logos Now, part of Logos 6, and identify keywords in a book, start to really break down the text, the underlying Greek text. Now, that is something else I want you to notice. You'll notice that I'm looking at Greek words and how frequently they occur, but my results are being presented to me in English. You don't have to know a lot of Greek to do some powerful Greek work or Hebrew work in the New Testament and Old Testament using tools like Concordance. So I hope this helps you as you learn to use these new tools in Logos 6.